All right, focus friends. We are going to be reviewing some measurement today. But before we get started, can I please just take a second to tell you how proud I am of how hard all of you gentlemen have been working during this e-learning time. I am super proud of you. You continue to show me some amazing math, and I just can't wait to see how much you've grown and how much more you're going to grow in 5th grade. You guys are really doing amazing. I miss you so much. I'm sorry we can't be in the classroom together, but please know I am so proud of you. And Baby Yoda, he's also very proud of you. He would like to give you a high five. Although, I don't know if it'd be a high five. Does Baby Yoda have 5 fingers? Get back to me on that one, boys. All right, first thing you're going to be working on with measurement. Perimeter and area. A little review. Remember, perimeter, we're talking about distance around, sorry, that A is a little sloppy, a polygon. So perimeter is when we're going around a polygon. Area is going to be the space a polygon covers. Okay, so area is going to be that coverage. So the first thing you're going to do today for independent practice is you're going to do some perimeter and area problems with some polygons. One thing I want to point out, as 4th grade focus mathematicians, you are doing 5th grade math, and that requires you to be able to do perimeter and area of these shapes using fractions and decimals. So I am going to do fractions and decimals with you today. So, perimeter of a square. Remember, perimeter of a square is side plus side plus side plus side. And we see those congruency marks, which shows us that all 4 sides are the same. So we have 3/4, 3/4, 3/4. So to do that perimeter, we're going to add 3/4 plus 3/4 plus 3/4 plus 3/4. Remember, adding fractions like denominators, keep it. And then 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3, 3, 6, 9, 12 gives me 12/4. We know that top is bigger than bottom, so 12 divided by 4 is going to be 3. So 3 inches for that perimeter. 1 second, boys, I'm going to close the door. You probably hear the pups barking, so I'm going to close that up so we can focus on math. Sorry about that. All right, area. Area of a square. Remember, the formula for area of a square is side times side. So we're going to take that 3/4 times 3/4. Remember, when you multiply fractions, top times top. So 3 times 3 is 9. Bottom times bottom. 4 times 4. It's not 12, Mrs. Clary. It is 16. Sorry about that, boys. And then you have to ask yourself, can you simplify? Do the numbers 9 and 16 have a greatest common factor besides 1? Think about 9. 1 times 9 is 9, and 3 times 3. So we know 1 works for 16. Does 9? 9, 8, nope. And does 3? No, because 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. So we know that that is then simplest form. 9 over 16 inches, and remember, when you're talking area, you're taking 2 dimensions, so we're going to square that. All right, rectangle time. Remember, perimeter of a rectangle is length plus width plus length plus width. We got some congruency marks, so that tells me that this side is also 1/3. This side is also 4/5. This is where it gets a little trickier with perimeter because we're adding fractions, and when you look at these fractions, do they have the same denominator? No. So, 4/5 plus 4/5 plus 1/3 plus 1/3. Before I can add these up, I need a common denominator for 5 and 3. So what is their least common multiple? So I know when I skip count by 3s, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, and when I skip count by 5s, 5, 10, 15, I know their LCM is going to be 15. So I'm going to go ahead and write those LCMs. We're going to use these to create equivalent fractions using multiplication. I know 5 times 3 is 15. Do the same to the numerator. 4 times 3 would be 12. I know that this guy's going to be the same because I just did 4/5. I know 3 times 5 is 15. Do the same to the numerator. 1 times 5 is 5. And I know he's going to be the same. So now I can add. Keep the denominator. 12 plus 12 plus 5 plus 5. Well, I know 12 plus 12 is 24, right? What's 5 plus 5? 10, right? So what's 24 plus 10? 34. So the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to shrink this down a little bit because I need a little space to simplify, right? Because 34 is greater than 15. So top is bigger than bottom, so I'm going to divide that. If I have 34, I can get 2 groups of 15. 2 times 15 is 30. Subtract. So I have 2 whole groups and 4 out of 15. Last thing you need to ask yourself, 4 and 15, do they have a GCF besides 1? Can I divide both of them by something besides 1? Hopefully you said no, because the only way to get 4 is 1 times 4 and 2 times 2. And 15 surely isn't even, so 2 doesn't work. And I already know if I do 4 times 4, I get 16, so there's no way 15 works. So my perimeter is going to be 2 and 4/15 inches. Again, I'm going to shrink this down so I have a little bit of workspace. Don't erase your work. You can always just shrink it down. I can zoom in. Area of a rectangle is length times width. So I'm going to take that. 4/5 times 1/3. I know 4 times 1 is 4. 5 times 3 is 15. So I get 4/15. Again, top is not bigger than bottom, so I can't simplify that way. But do they have a GCF besides 1? Answer, no. So the area is 4/15 inches, and again, 2 dimensions, so squared. All right, perimeter and area of complex shapes. So I'm going to split this shape. Remember, when you do complex, the first thing you do is split them. So I'm going to go ahead and color these and make this a little bit bigger. I have a yellow rectangle right here that I'm going to be working with. And a pink one. Again, opposite sides are congruent in rectangles, so I know if that top is 4, this bottom is 4. I know if that top is 6, this bottom is 6. And that works because what's 6 plus 4? 10. So that's accurate. Now here's where it gets a little tricky. This whole side has to be 8. So that means this whole side has to be 8. I notice I have a 4 right here. So what does this piece have to be if the total has to be 8? If you said 4, you're correct. That helps me then because with my pink rectangle, I know that little piece is 4, so this piece has to be 4. Again, perimeter. We're going all the way around. Pick a different color. So perimeter, I'm going to circle my measurements in green. 6, 4, 4, 8. Notice I'm not circling this 4, but the 10 because I want perimeter outside. And 4. So now I'm going to add 4 plus 8 plus 10 plus 4 plus 6 plus 4. I know 6 plus 4 is 10, plus 4 is 14, plus 8 is going to give me 22, plus 4 more is going to give me 26. And carry that 2, and 2 plus 1 is 3, so I'm going to get 36 inches for my perimeter. Remember area, you need to get the area of both figures. So I need the area of the yellow rectangle and the pink. Remember, area of a rectangle, length times width. So that yellow one, I'm going to do 8 times 4. Gives me 32. The pink one, I'm going to do 6 times 4. Which gives me 24. And I need the total area of the shape, so I'm going to add those two numbers together. 32 plus 24, which gives me 56. Again, it's area, so inches for my units, which it has, and then it's always squared for area. Now I know the next thing down here is volume. I'm going to take a little break and skip over this volume for a second in conversions. I just want to recap a couple of things with you. Sorry, I scrolled a bunch. You're also going to do area of triangles and trapezoids. Remember, if the shape starts with T, the last part is divide by 2. Okay, so let me go down here a little bit, see if it'll let me squeeze some stuff in. Add a page. There we go. Add a page. It's not letting me. Okay. Sorry about that, boys. There we go. Okay. I forgot to include this in your mini lesson notes, but I want to make sure you know how to do these. So, triangle. I'm going to draw a quick triangle for you. Perimeter is just like it is for any shape. You add up all the sides. For this one, the perimeter, I'd be doing 10 plus 9 plus 9. 9 plus 9 is 18. Carry my 1. 28 centimeters. Area of this shape, though, area is going to be base times height divided by 2. Remember, to know your base and height, look for that right angle. So I'm going to do 9 times 9, which is 81, and then you have to divide that by 2. Let me shrink this down so I have a little workspace. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. Shrink it down. Okay, so 81 divided by 2. You're saying, Mrs. Clary, that's an odd number. We can't do that. You know decimal division, though. So if I have 8, I can get 4 groups. 4 times 2 is 8. Subtract. Bring down. If I have 1, I can't get a group. So that's where that decimal is going to come in. We're going to put 0 because we can't get a group. And then add that decimal. Now we can add those zeros. Oh, sorry guys, sorry. Add that 0, drop it down. If I have 10, I can get 5 groups. So I'm going to have 40 and a half for the area of that triangle. Now you're also going to have to do trapezoids. Remember trapezoids. Perimeter, just like it always is, add up all the sides. Trapezoids gets tricky when you have to do the area. So I'm going to do a quick one with you. So we're going to go ahead and give that one 8, 5, 5, 6, 4. We'll just call it inches. So remember, perimeter, you'll just add up the outside, but area for trapezoids, add your bases. So remember, bases are the parallel ones. So 8 plus 6 is going to give me 14 times your height. Remember, that height is going to be where that right angle is. So I'm going to take 14 times 4. I get 56. And the last step, remember, trapezoid also starts with T. If it starts with T, divide by 2. So 56 divided by 2. If I have 5, I can get 2 groups, which is 4. Subtract, bring down. If I have 16, I can get 8 groups. So that tells me the area of this trapezoid is going to be 28 inches squared. Again, I apologize for not including those shapes in the mini lesson, but I just wanted to make sure you have them. If you don't want to draw them and do it in your notes, that's fine, but just please reference this video if you get confused. So area and perimeter, you will be doing squares, rectangles, triangles, trapezoids, complex shapes. Then you're going to do volume. Remember volume, length times width times height. So for a cube, it's all going to be the same dimensions, 11, 11, 11. So you need to do 11 times 11, which gives me 121, and then you have to do that times the third dimension, which gives me 1,331 centimeters, and remember, volume is cubed. You will also have to do volume of rectangular prisms. You know it's a rectangular prism and not a cube because all the dimensions are not the same. So for this one, I'm going to do 8 times 8 times 10. I'm going to start with 8 times 8, which is 64, because multiplying something by 10, remember, just add that 0, so I get 640. And it's cubed again because it's volume. Okay, complex volume. Remember, you got to break the shape up. So now I have this rectangular prism, and I have this one. And I need to get the 3 dimensions. If you notice the pink one, he already has all 3. He has length, width, and height. So he's my easy one. So for him, I'm going to do 15 times 10 times 5. Again, use your friendly numbers. I'm going to start with 15 times 5 because that's a little easier to multiply by 10. 15 times 5. If I skip count by 15s, I have 15, 30, 45, 60, 75. So then I have to do 75 times 10. Again, multiplying by 10, just add that 0. I get 750 for my pink one. Again, I'm going to shrink my work down a little bit if it lets me. There we go. Now I need to think about yellow. Rectangular prisms, which make up these cubes, are all made of faces of rectangles. So your opposite sides are congruent. So that tells me if this is 10, that means this is 10, which tells me this is 10. Now, I need to know this piece down here. I know this is 15 up here, so this pink part is 15. If the entire bottom is 20, though, to figure out this missing piece, I take 20 minus 15 and I get 5. Okay? Now, this 5 that we're looking at on the yellow one up here doesn't cover the whole side that I need for the height. But if I look over here, I have 5, 5, 5. So part of this has to be 5. What is 5 plus 5? Well, that means this whole side is 10. So for my yellow guy, the dimensions are going to be 10 times 10 times 5. All right, 10 times 10 times 5. I'm going to do my friendly numbers. 5 times 10 is 50, times 10 more. That's going to give me 500. So then to find the total volume of this total volume of this complex shape, whoopsie. Sorry, guys. Okay, total volume. It does not want to let me cut, apparently. Okay, there we go. Nope. It's frozen. The total volume of this complex shape, I need to take these two numbers and add them up. So 750 plus 500. And I get 7 plus 5, so give me that 12. I get 1,250 millimeters cubed for my volume. All right, so something is wrong with my keypad. It's not letting me. There we go. Okay, I don't know what that was, guys. Sorry about that. After you do the volume, you're going to do some conversions. So remember, gallon man. Got that big 1 gallon, 4 quarts in a gallon, 2 pints in each quart, and in each pint we have 2 cups. Sorry, tongue twister. Two cups. All right, there we go. So you're going to use these to help you do your conversions. But before you start converting, we need to do a little reminder. Golden rule of conversions. Big to small means we're multiplying. Small to big means we're dividing. Okay? All right. Cups to gallons. If we use our gallon man, we know 1 gallon equals how many cups? Go look at him. I do a quick skip count. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16 cups in a gallon. Whoops. I don't know why I wrote gallon. Sorry guys, I must be getting sleepy. Been a long day. 16 cups. Now, if I look at this problem, I notice there are 9 cups. Is that even enough for 1 gallon? If I need 16? Correct answer is no. Mrs. Clary's trying to trick you. You know how I can be sometimes during math. So the answer to this one is actually no, I can't get a gallon, and I still have 9 cups. So be careful when you're doing conversions. Really think about them, boys. Okay? All right, 8 feet to inches. My conversion, I know that there are 12 inches equals 1 foot. I ask myself, big to small, small to big. Feet to inches. Feet are bigger than inches, so big to small means multiply. So I'm going to multiply 12 times 8. And that's going to give me 96. So I know 8 feet is equivalent to 96 inches. Bypass my shapes here. Sorry about that, gentlemen. Okay, hours to days. I know 1 day equals 24 hours. I know hours to days. Hours are smaller. Small to big means division. So I need to take 32 divided by 24. So I'm going to have to shrink this down a little bit so I have some workspace. 32 divided by 24 hours. I can get one group of 24. Subtract. I'm left with 8. So that tells me 32 hours is equivalent to 1 day and 8 hours left over. Last one, quarts to pints. Conversion. I know that if I use my gallon man, 2 pints equals 1 quart. Quarts to pints. Quarts are bigger than pints, so big to small means multiply. So I'm going to take 12 times 2. I get 24. So, gentlemen, that is what you're going to be doing today. Some area, perimeter, volume, and conversions. I apologize for the technical difficulties and for getting those couple of polygons. Appreciate your flexibility. If you have questions or if you get confused, you can reach out to me via email or Canvas message. Also, if you need additional help, Miss Ellen is doing a help session at 10 o'clock. It'll be posted in Canvas if you want to join. Again, it is voluntary, only if you want additional help. 12 o'clock, don't forget our whole class Zoom. Bring that sign. We're going to be recognizing Mr. Lugo and Miss G for their appreciation week. And then if you need any additional help with missing work or any assignments, at 2 o'clock, I will be available for an extra Zoom to answer any questions. I hope you all are doing well. I miss you guys tons, and I can't wait to see you in our Zoom and touch base.